Today I got up in the morning and went to the Chassidus Shekolel to learn with Rabbi Shapir Roisman. We learned a pasuk in this week's parsha about the menorah, and we discussed a few things. We asked a few questions. One was, why is it that Moshe was commanded to make the menorah? Should it not have been commanded to Aaron, since Aaron was in charge of the avodah and the other kalim in the Mishkan? We answered that the menorah, along with the Ketores and the Shulchan, had a special status that were considered part of the construction of the Mishkan that Moshe was responsible for. Shapir asked me if I wanted to have some coffee before this, and I said yes. So I went over to the area where the coffee and tea was, and I saw that there was no milk or sugar except in those little packets, which I could not rip open because of Shabbos. I just said to myself, forget about this whole thing, so I threw away the cup in which I made the coffee. It was just instant coffee and water. We then learned a Rashi about what the word tamid means. Does it mean 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? No, it does not mean that. Rashi says that it just means every night. In the case of the menorah, and in the case of korbanos, it means every day. But as long as it was there perpetually. In the case of the Shulchan, he says that the breads were there from Shabbos to Shabbos, and it is still considered tamid. I would like to demonstrate how two different people have two different ways of understanding one thing. Rashi said the lechem apanim are from week to week, and that is considered tamid. Rabbi Roisman understood that passage to mean that by the Shulchan, tamid means literally perpetually, since the breads were there every day and every night for a full week. And I thought about it and understood it differently. I understood it to mean that even though it was changed only once a week, it is still considered tamid. After this, Rabbi Roisman had a question on what Rashi was meaning. It was understood according to his way. If once every night or once every day is considered tamid, then what is Rashi actually adding by saying that a full week, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, is considered tamid? Of course it's considered tamid. So I offered then, and with better understanding now, that Rashi was going from the lesser to the greater. Once a night or once a day is considered tamid, and even once a week, as long as it was consistent, is considered tamid. Then we have to examine this and see if it is correct. The Shulchan was every night and every day for a full week. It only changed before Shabbos. So it should mean perpetually, like Rabbi Roisman said. I tell you no. Let us compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges. The menorah was lit new every night, and the korbanos were made new every day, and the breads of the Shulchan were not. Rather, they were made new once a week. So then we see that Rashi was saying a chiddush, indeed, since he was building from the lesser to the greater in terms of time. So even though the Shulchan was indeed for a full week, which of course is longer than a day, but in functionality is actually less when seen in terms of changing. Then we talked about shemen zayat, pure olive oil. We said that pure is more about the process and the product. Then I referenced mito shelo lishma bal lishma mitzvah b'avera, and he said something to the opposite effect. If you had an impure intention by a korban, the whole thing is pigul. Then he referenced from Shlomo Fisher for something.